So I prefer this over the full digital gauge. I like the analog gauges. And you get a center digital gauge, which is controlled by this. I'm not a big fan of these touch buttons, but that's just where they've gone. It's pretty easy to use, but you do touch it accidentally a lot. I do like the center display. It's actually quite large. This is the larger one. It tells you your phone battery, which I like. Tells you what your reception is. That's great. It's got a lot of features in here. Dynamic select, assistance packages, lighting. All in all, it's a pretty nice car. 5 things that I don't like. I don't like how this little thing right here is in kilometers. I don't understand kilometers, unfortunately. And you can't change it to miles per hour unless you change this to kilometers. And if you change this and this to kilometers, the main gauge, then I can have that in miles per hour. But unfortunately, I don't want to do that. That's just a faff. I have fixed it by installing a heads-up display up there. Another thing I don't like, I don't really like this wood. It seems to like get faded weird in the little spots. You can see on the other side more. Like right there in the center, it's kind of faded funny. And same here, it's faded like right here. Another thing that I don't like about this car is I'm getting wind noise from up here somewhere, or maybe in the seatbelt. I'm not sure. It was the same thing in the C63 and in the C220D. Another thing I don't like is I don't like these fake Alcantara seats. I just find them almost itchy and just uncomfortable for me. I've always had leather seats. I'm not a fan of cloth, so honestly, I didn't drive this car before I bought it. I have driven a C300 and I figured out this will be a little faster, be okay. And unfortunately, I had never sat in these kind of seats. I've only had leather, and now that I have them, I don't really like them. They make me feel like I'm sweaty and itchy. Another thing that I don't like is on acceleration, so when you put your foot down, there's a delay. Almost like a 3-second delay. And I have tried to fix this. I've got a pedal commander in this car. So I've installed that. I have to run it in race or sport. And even then, there's still too much delay. And I talked to my friend at Mercedes, and they said they've done this on purpose. So they said that they did this to make the car feel smoother. And this is the same reason I don't like the new Range Rover. I drove the 2021 2-liter hybrid one. And unfortunately, I killed the battery so quick on the hybrid system. So now I was just using it on the motor only. And in there's a huge delay when you go to the gas pedal. And I just don't like it. For my style of driving, everyone says I'm a little bit more aggressive, maybe. I like that performance, right? And it just doesn't work for me. So this has that same problem. I have tried to get rid of it. I talked to my tech, and he said I could tune it out. I think it's 1,000 pounds. But is it worth spending another grand on it? I've already upgraded the speakers. I've tinted the car, and I think I've put another grand in. That's money that I won't get back. So I don't think I would do that. So the last thing that I don't really like is, so this is easy to use, right? It's the same button in the C63 and the diesels and the E63 and basically all the Mercedes. Even the GLC 63 has the same thing. So I'm used to that. In America, it's on this end, this side, and here it's on that side. But it's fine. My problem is, now that I'm used to the newer versions of these cars, I'm used to the scrolling knob here. So I just wish there was something that I could press on here to just get me instantly in my mode, my individual mode, rather than having to go through every mode down there. Because sometimes it just takes you ages to get into it. And on our Panamera and the Cayenne, they've got buttons up here. Even the Audi's got the Audi's actually the worst. It has nothing, and there's like a little button here, and it's a touch screen. And that is so hard to change. So this is better than that, but I really wish, they had some other place to put it. Because I feel eventually I'm going to break that. I have to press it so many times. So one thing that I really do like about my C63, because that's a 2017 and this is a 2018 and 19, you can remove this. So criminal so someone can steal your car, right? They can clone the key signature from inside your house, and they just press this, and there you go, they took your car. This has got a few other things that I've added myself to stop that. But in the C300, I always remove this to make it just slightly harder for them to steal. That way, they're going to have a physical key. They're going to have to clone the key and to take my car. Or in this, all they need is a signal. I do have a signal blocker in the house. I've got that pedal lock. I've got a steering lock. It's got a tracker on the car. But like, if someone really wants it, they're going to steal it. I just like to make it as hard as possible for them to take it. That way it's more of a deterrent. But yeah, I wish I could just remove this, because sometimes I like to put the key in there. These do have that feature though, if the key dies and you can't start it because you can't put the key in there, there's a key right there. So you put the key there and that will pick up the sensor. So here's something I like and also dislike. I dislike how badly the wheels get covered in brake dust. And I also dislike how much water gets caught by the lip of the inner rim. But they look good other than that. I do love the fuel economy. So on long trips we can actually get 40 for most of the way. Since I've had the car almost 3,000 miles, I've been averaging 27 mpg.
The pros I have of this Mercedes C300 are the navigation, which I prefer in the Mercedes, and I like the inside cabin. You can have these in various colours and materials, but I think they do, whichever variety you pick, they have good options. And compared to our previous car, which was the e-tron, any petrol car in my opinion would be better because you're not wasting time sat charging. And we've actually, I think we've got some good mileage in our last fuel consumption. Before we topped up, we got 400, just over 450 miles. A few things that I don't like about this Mercedes are the inside of the cabin has a luminous finish. I think it looks pretty cheap. Another thing I don't like is there is a 3-second delay on the throttle when you put your foot down, which is really annoying when you're trying to pull out of an intersection, because you'll have put your foot down, there's a delay, and you're just kind of stuck, which I find dangerous, and the delay is in all modes. I also don't like that the passenger doesn't have lock buttons. That's only available on the driver's side, so it's a bit inconvenient. Another thing is that there is no dead pedal on the driver's side, which is a bit odd. I think this car sounds very diesel-y, which is something I don't like.
All in all, I think it looks pretty nice. All the C classes, I think, really do look nice, and they look similar to the E's and the S's, just in a smaller form. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe and like the video, and I will see you next Wednesday.